Hey ASLers, Neil here. Today I have for you Orsogna from the gentleman at Advancing Fire, shipped to me from Ritterkrieg. What I'm going to do now is go through this new campaign game featuring the New Zealanders against the Germans in Italy. And I'm going to show you the scenarios, special rules, historical booklet, and do a large map flyover near the end. So let's dig into it. Orsonia from Advancing Fire. Previously, they released Brevity Assault, Biaza Ridge, and Prokhorovka. The box that this comes in looks to be exactly the same design and size as the one that Prokhorovka came in. Their first two modules came in basically nothing. They came in a box, but it didn't really fit. It was kind of jammed in there. I have them now in clear uh, baggies, basically, to protect them and contain them. Cool cover art here. Looks like a kind of a mosaic of different World War II photographs put together to make this scene. And it looks like with commentary provided by Jeff Plowman, author of Orsonia, New Zealand's first Italian battle. So I assume there's a historical booklet in here that has some notes on the design of the scenario based on some of the information from this book here. Let's look at the back real quick. One thing I noticed under the game information here is the time scale. They list 6 minutes per game turn, which is interesting because ASL's always had the assumption of 2 minutes per game turn, which is kind of a esoteric number. I don't really fully believe that each game turn represents 2 minutes. I feel it's much longer than that. Even for a tactical type game, but 6 minutes is maybe a little more realistic, but it differs from the official, ASL 2 minute per game turn. Obviously, scale's all the same. Contents: 14 scenarios, 4 campaign games, covering Operation Florence in Orsogna in December 1943. So this doesn't cover the whole battle around Orsogna because, as far as I understand from my very limited military history and reading, is the Allies didn't actually capture Orsogna until a bit more into 1944, maybe early summer 1944. It was kind of a hang up on the Gustav line, which I'll go over here in a minute, that kept the Allies from advancing more north through Italy, especially on the eastern side of Italy. Taking this village took a while. Now Ortona, over on the coast, they took that fairly quickly, but this village was a thorn in the side of the Allies. This doesn't cover the whole thing. It must cover just the first battles of it. And I think the Allies retreated during the winter, and then they hit them again in the spring, early summer, and finally took it. So this is more of the very first action in the winter around Orsogna. 96 full color 5/8 counters, 420 half-inch counters, quite a few counters. 3 maps and one historical map. I'm assuming the 3 maps go together. We shall see. Maybe all 4 go together. I don't know. We'll see. I'll put everything together. Rule pages describing the special rules and terrain. Maybe there. I don't see any mention of a historical booklet in here. Maybe it's included with the rules section. Then here's a short description of what this contains and what it represents, and some of the counters here. Okay, and a depiction of probably what I assume is a very small portion of the map. All right, let's dig into her. I'm just going to open it up and put things onto the table as I pull them out. My setup just does not have enough room. Packing sheet, already went through it. It's listed on the back. Let's see. Rulebook and interviews. This reminds me of, it comes as a booklet. Advancing Fire's previous modules, the 3 that I listed, they just come as loose leaves, and they're not even 3-hole punched. to put in a notebook. They're just loose sheets. This comes as a booklet, and it reminds me of LFT production, and maybe I think Bounding Fire production also has bound books. So this is very nice to see. Let's go through it real quick here. So got some weather, trenches, rubble, minefields. Hopefully the light is better here. I don't have a setup. I do have some different lights I'm using, so hopefully this comes through clear. I'm still working on my setup because some of my videos have been blurry. Talks about some of the units involved. And the units involved, if I remember right, is the 2nd New Zealand Division and the 60, we'll probably see what it is, 60 something German division. More units, Italian paratroopers, terrain, section 2, barbed wire fences, boulevard, breaching, bridges, brush. Can't imagine brush is any different. They're just showing what it looks like on their map boards. Their maps are always very nice looking. Buildings. Here's an interesting note. Remember, black bar exists. Must be similar to row houses, I guess. Oh yeah, yeah. Talking about how you can spend 3 movement factors to go around basically a row house wall to get into the next hex. Building brush hex. Example of probably using terrain because there's some funky terrain in this. The Ortonia sits on top of basically a very steep bluff. We'll see what it looks like on the map. And it's a very dense little village town. More building information. Orsogna village special features. These must be very specific buildings within the village at the time. Very tight streets. More terrain, cobblestones, cliffs. Graveyard. Hedge, hills. I don't know if this has slopes. Yeah, it does have slopes. I don't know. The slopes in Brevity Assault were, I don't think they call them slopes. Maybe they call them something else. They were kind of an enigma, and it looks like they're doing it again. I hope it's clear because I still, I mean, I played Brevity Assault a year or two ago, whenever it came out. And we really couldn't grok the slopes and different colored crest lines. Hopefully it's a little more clear in this. I don't think they exist at least maybe at this level in Prokhorovka. It looks like they're back. So, which has me a little concerned. Hopefully it's okay. I don't like needlessly complicated terrain rules, especially when you're dealing with line of sights and slopes. Not a huge fan. Here's how they talk about slopes. Railroads, reed beds, those were in Białza Ridge, probably the exact same rule section. Campaign, getting into the campaign games. It says there were 6 of them, I think. Four campaign games. Oh, here's a little small section of the map. Here's Ortonia up here. I believe there are 11 elevation levels, 0 through 10, I think. Campaign game 1. Oh, this is just the section. Campaign game 1, campaign game 13. Here's where campaign game 1 starts, right here. Operation Florence. Orsogna, campaign game 1. Operation Florence. 2, Zone Nord. 4, I missed 3. Oh, 3, Zone Sud. And Operation Florence, alternative combat. Not sure what that means. typical refit phase, it looks like, between campaign game dates. Operation Florence. This must be the whole thing. Yeah. Campaign 4 is a modified combination of campaign game 2 and 3. It's got looks like it has 18 campaign game dates, and it combines everything. Then it goes into the refit phase rules. Footnotes, as we're used to seeing with the advanced gladiator rules, giving us a little historical context to any of the rule sections in here. Oh, here are, let's see, some of the maps. This is map 1, map 3. Or is this 1 and 2 combined? I just see a 1 up here if you can see it. Here's a 3. I don't know where 2 is. Oh, there it is, 2. Okay, this is 1 and 2 combined. This is 3 and 4 combined here. Obviously, 3 must come down here. Again, I'll do a flyover. Here's the Ortogna proper itself. You can see lots of elevation coming up through this valley and extending off this way, and a ridge coming this way, extending. Okay, interview with Jeffrey Plowman. So this must be the historical part, and based on his book that he wrote, New Zealand's first Italian battle. Oh, the 65th Infantry Division and the 26th Panzer Division, and the 2nd New Zealand Division. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. I knew it was the 2nd New Zealand Division. I couldn't remember the German forces. And some aerial photos from picture taken 1943, November 1943, and February 3rd, 44. And then a select bibliography, not select, is pretty big, a bibliography if you want to read anything more about the Italian campaign and probably Orsogna specifically. Let's talk a little bit of history here. Let me pop up right here a map I whipped together of the Adriatic sector, that area during end of 1943. You can see in the right side, lower right side, there's a 2nd New Zealand Division, and coming up into Orsogna. And the Gustav line kind of runs from, did I say Ortonia? I meant Orsogna. Ortonia is over to the right on the coast, and that's where the Canadians went up, and the Indians were in between, coming up the east side of Italy. But the Gustav line basically extended from Ortonia over on the east, kind of near the Moro River, and going near Orsogna, and then running down a little bit kind of southwest, but more to the west towards Cassino. And that's the line that gave the Allies a real pain in the butt when they were trying to advance through Italy. And Orsogna, and as we know, Cassino, the siege of Cassino, were kind of the holdups there. And Orsogna here covers this. Now I put another couple other things on here. You can see here in the center, near the center, there's Lone Canuck Publishing's Crossing the Moro. So that's a tactical mission covering taking the village of Rigotti, I think it is. And then a future MMP module, which has been worked, as far as I know, has been worked on for over 10 years that I've known about it. But they mentioned it in one of the last journals that it's making progress, and that is Ortona over on the coast, Little Stalingrad. Maybe we'll see that one day. So kind of these 3 battles, at least on the eastern side of the Gustav line, will give you some historical action of the action of the Allies in Italy during 1943, the winter of 1943. Okay, let's do the counters. Got the infantry here. We've got the New Zealanders. Kind of hard to see the little logo here. I'm going to get my camera at the end of these. I'm just going to show these real quickly, and then I'm going to do a real zoomed in close of these counters with a different view. The finish on these is pretty matte. I like it. They're not really shiny. I mean, they have a little shine to them, but it's like a subtle matte luster. Very easy to read under my bright lights I have here. There's no real reflection off of anything. I like that. Then we have some German units down here, but it's kind of hard to see the logo on these, but I'll do a zoom in on those. And then this other sheet, is there another sheet of counters? I think it was, yeah, there's these two, the 1/2 inch and then the 5/8. Here's the rest of the Germans. I didn't notice in the rules the differentiation between these. These must be Italian units. But I didn't notice what they were in the rule book here. And some leaders, a bunch of control markers, and some AFVs. Now, I don't know if you need to supplement any of these counters. Obviously, I haven't sat down and broke out the counters and looked at the scenarios in the campaign game to see if it covers everything. You may need for King of Country for additional Commonwealth type counters, and maybe Beyond Valor for additional German counters. Italian counters, I don't know if you would need Hollow Legions. I am not sure. But that's, before you dig into it, check to see if you need to supplement any of these counters. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it says in the rulebook. Doubtful, but most of us have these modules, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem if we're going to play this on a table with actual units. See if we can get a closer look at these counters. I think it's a zoomed in view with plenty of light. You can see kind of to the right over here, the semi gloss, a little of a matte finish. Even with the reflection from my light over here, you can still read it. So I like the finish on these counters. Try not to block the light. Good registration on the die cut. Good alignment with the color. Yeah, pretty nice. The blue on the German's a little bit different than the official blue from Multiman Publishing, but I think this is the same blue that they've used on their previous counters from other Advancing Fire modules. Hopefully the zoom is auto focusing. I can only get so close. As I mentioned in another video, all the videos I've been making on this channel for the past 3 years, I've been using a phone. Just my regular old smartphone. It served me well, but every once in a while, it does not serve me well. It works pretty good for stuff like this, but I'm looking at a new setup here. Hopefully I'll get going soon. So yeah, I like counters. Very well done. I'm not known as a counter freak. I know some guys are really into the counters. And I am going to do a counter comparison video, and I'm going to dedicate that to Stu from Vaseline with Stu, because I know how he loves it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to, this is a little aside in this video, I am going to take counters from Multiman Publishing and 5 or 6 other third-party designers and manufacturers and compare them. And the reason I'm doing this is because Broken Down Design had a Black Friday or Cyber Monday sale. And I've always wondered what their counters are like, so I ordered a set, and I'm going to throw that in, and we're going to do a counter comparison video here in the next, I don't know, couple of weeks, as soon as I get the Broken Ground Design counters. Okay, that's it. That's it for the close-up view. The counters look pretty good. Hopefully this comes through. I didn't look at all the names on the counters, but if you get it, you can go through them and check out the historical names. I don't know if any of the names are historical or not. I am not sure. Okay. Scenario time. I assume all of these take place on the historical map. We shall see. Once in a while, they slip something in that will play on geomorphic boards, but we'll see. And in Prokhorovka, they actually put in, I think it was 2 starter kit scenarios, which is kind of strange because the cost of entry to get Prokhorovka to play 2 starter kit scenarios seems extremely high. I don't know if they did that in this case. What do we have here? Salarola Junction, Orsogna version. Not sure what that means. Maybe they published this as, I know they did a director scenario pack. I don't know all the scenarios that are in there because I don't have it. Maybe there was a geomorphic board version and they converted it to, oh, it is on a geomorphic board. Here I am talking about whether they slip in scenarios that are on a geo board, and there's one right in front of my face. Okay, takes place on board 86. I assume these are all going to be New Zealand versus German scenarios. Okay. Continuation of some scenarios. First approach. These are all going to be December 43, probably. Yeah. Takes place on parts of maps 3 and 4. You can see the turn numbers on some of these. Pascuccio. First attack on Marucina. It's probably continued on the back. Yeah. Maori counterattacked. Some biggish scenarios here. 11 and a half turns. Continuation. Orsonia by night. Again, another 11 and a half turn. I assume a night scenario since it's in the title. Yeah, night rules are in effect. Caution, men at work. Here we go. Here's a nice short one. 5.5. Small unit set. I like those. Dicey, but they're still fun. I like them. 20 regiments, recon and force. 5 brigade takes position. Looks like another big one. Yeah. Fallschirmjäger Rückschlag. Excuse my German. 11 and a half turns. Night rules. I am curious how many of these have this. This one was night rules. Night rule. Man, I'm going to have to brush up on night rules. I don't think many of us play a lot of night rule scenarios. Continuation. Attack on the back of Orsonia. That does not look like a night. I think the aftermath descriptions are really long on some of these. Yeah, that one is not night. The last attempt on Orsonia. I think the continuation for this one was on a previous one that we went over already. Same with this one. Crapshoot. Short one, 5 turns. A Maori Company Odyssey. Fairly shortish one. These don't look to have night rules in them. Operation Florence. This, I wonder if this represents, yeah, this represents the map setup here. Here's Orsogna up in the corner, and then the valley and ridge that went down this way. Here's the valley and the ridge. This is this part of the campaign game? Initial order of battle. So this must be campaign game. I don't know what order these goes in. It looks like there might be a little out of order. Continued. German support reinforcements. So these are, okay, initial order of battle. These are campaign purchase point reinforcement during the refit phase. German campaign purchase point replenishment table. Looks like you roll. Campaign purchase point is randomized each turn or each between each campaign game date. That's interesting. Knowing me, I'd roll 12 every time and only get 25 points. That's just how I roll. New Zealand reinforcement group chart. I don't see a campaign purchase point reinforcements for the New Zealand. There's a FPP replenishment table. I'm not sure what. Oh, fortification purchase. I didn't see a random campaign purchase point for the New Zealanders for their units. Maybe they get a fixed amount every campaign game date. I'm not sure. Fortification purchasing. Campaign game roster for tracking. Campaign game turn record chart. It looks like most MMP campaign game dates are 5 to 8 turns. The randomization starts on turn 5, and they're all automatically over by 8. Orsogna looks like it's got 11 from the looks of it. You start to randomize at turn 9, and you could go as far as 11 turns just from looking at this and not actually reading all the campaign game rules. New Zealand terrain aid chart to help you out. More terrain. And I don't know. If you want to buy some, I don't know what this is. Counters. Looks like this is filler from the printer. I don't know. Let me put the maps up here. Clearly they will not fit. I'm going to lay them out and do a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll set them out on our large kitchen table, as you've probably seen in my videos, and I'll do a quick flyover, and you can see how they look, how big they are relative to our size kitchen table, which is pretty big. It's maybe 3 by 12 or 4 by 12, something like that. So you can get an idea of how big this is, and then we'll come back and wrap it up, all right? All right, here's our table. Like I said previously, our table is probably 3.5 or 4 feet by 10, maybe, something like that. You can do the math on the map sheets, but here they are laid out, and it fits perfectly on our table. Could easily play this on ours. We'd have to be careful sitting rulebooks down here and there, but it fits on our table very well. Start over here. Here is the key. There's a campaign game turn record chart. I guess you could use it for anything that is, 11 turns or less. And the levels, they go from 0 to 10. So there are 11 levels on this map. I think there's one. Yeah, there's one on the other side as well. This is map section 4, I believe. Yeah, it goes 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 1 is up in that direction. There's the other key up there. And here's Orsogna itself. You can see very dense, very tight village. There's some cliff hex sides surrounding it here. And I'm not noticing, we were looking in the rules, obviously. Oh, here are some of the colored crest lines that I was talking about, red. Now in Brevity Assault, or sorry, in Biazza Ridge, there were 2 or 3 colors of crest lines. There was red, green, and maybe yellow. This one, I'm only seeing red here and there, not a whole lot. There's another one there. Lots of orchards and vineyards here. Here we are down at map board 1. Very large map, and I didn't notice when I was going through the rule book or the scenarios or even the campaign game, if there was a campaign game or scenario that uses all 4 of the maps. I did not notice that. Here's the large ridge going up to Orsogna and the valley on the other side of the ridge here. Advancing Fire's map artwork, a little bit different. This is along the lines of Piazza Ridge. It's very nice, a little bit different than what Multiman Publishing uses. Gives it a different aesthetic, which I like. A little change of pace compared to Multiman Publishing historical map. Now the quality of the paper, it's the same as Prokhorovka. They have a new printer, I think. Their first 2 modules, the paper was very thin. Lots of complaints about that, and I also mentioned that in the Prokhorovka video, that this version of the paper is pretty thick, very sturdy, shouldn't have a problem. Very similar to a Multiman Publishing historical map, so people should be happy with this. Okay, here's the map. Very cool. Should be some epic, and it's got a matte finish, so you don't get a lot of glare off of any light. You can see a little bit right here. But if you're going to cover this with plexiglass, I hope you invested in a plexiglass company, because it's going to take you quite a few sheets if you're going to lay this all out. But looks like a lot of cool action can take place in Italy around Orsogna. So that's it for the map from Advancing Fire. That's all she wrote for Orsogna. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty cool. Another fine module from Advancing Fire. You can currently get this in the US. I'm not sure about in Europe, but you can get this currently from Ritter Krieg for $135. I'm guessing he has limited quantity because he probably had X number of shipped and Y number have been sold already and shipped out to some of us who already ordered. So if you want to pick up Orsogna, make sure you give Derek a jingle or a message or an order on his website, ritterkrieg.com. Overseas, you might be able to buy it directly from Advancing Fire, and there are some other stores you can probably get it from. But I'm guessing, again, supplies are limited. I think all of their other previous modules, sold out fairly quickly. The print runs are not unlimited. So if you're interested in this, pick this up. I hope you found this video useful and informative to help you decide if you want to invest in Orsogna and play a little New Zealand versus German World War II history in Italy. All right. Please give me a subscribe and a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next scouting report. Take care.